Pat and Stu for Glenn in the Glenn Beck program, 888-727-BECK. There's a New Jersey Senate candidate who is talking about global warming right now, and with good reason. We've had such evidence of global warming. It's has it increased by 35 degrees in the last couple of years, or is it 40?
Yeah, no, it's a little less.
A little less than that.
Yep.
It's okay. It's got to be, if it's not 35, it's 34 degrees Fahrenheit hotter than it was just a few years ago.
You're gonna need a decimal point.
Okay, 3 point. Are you saying 3.4 degrees?
No, I'm not.
Higher than that?
No, not that.
No,
not that much.
Not that. Wait, not that much?
Not even close.
What would you be saying? I mean, how much evidence do we have of the incredible heat that's been bombarding this planet because of CO2?
In what time frame are you talking about again?
I'm talking about the last, just the last 5 years.
None. None, and in fact, none.
Zero.
Going back to 1998.
None. Zero.
None.
Yeah, there's this little thing called the pause or whatever. Is that what they're calling it?
Yeah.
It's like a pause or it's taking a vacation or it's on holiday.
Yes.
Global warming got really tired because it had worked so hard.
Well, as you point out, global warming worked really hard.
And raised the temperature a full
0.74 degrees over 100 years.
0.7 degrees over 100 years.
And then it worked so
was
hard,
just tuckered out.
It was able to get a good savings together. And it bought a condo down in Florida.
That's what hard work gets you every time.
Yeah, and then it's just now it's just chilling in Florida. It has taken a pause for the past
16, 17 years or so.
That's all, though.
But that's it. But here's a Senate candidate in New Jersey talking about it.
I'm Rush Holt.
Hi, Rush.
Let's talk about the number one reason we need a scientist in the Senate: climate change.
Oh.
The evidence is overwhelming.
Overwhelming.
Climate change is real, and humans are to blame.
The evidence
is overwhelming.
They're still saying this kind of crap.
Yeah.
The evidence is overwhelming. It's real, and we're to blame.
Yeah, but that's a great way to make an argument that the facts don't back you up on. Because if you were to say, Mark Sanchez is the best quarterback in the league, the evidence is overwhelming. Well, I didn't give you any of that evidence.
Right.
I didn't give you any of the evidence that disagrees with that. But if I just say it's overwhelming and you don't know the truth,
must know. You must
say,
know because you just said it was overwhelming.
And I'm a scientist.
You can't say it if it's not true.
It's a great way to do that.
It's brilliant, and they do it well. Plus, he's got happy music in the background. It's got to be true.
Humans have dumped so much carbon dioxide into the air that concentrations are up 39% worldwide.
Okay, let's stop for a
Holy
second.
cow. Concentrations are up 39%.
What has also coincided with us dumping this evil CO2 into the air? Let me help you with that. It's called civilization. The reason why people don't live to 33 years old anymore is because we've been dumping CO2. The reason why literally billions of people are alive today that were not alive 150 years ago is because of our dumping CO2. The burning of fossil fuels has brought along civilization. That is what it has done. Yeah, it is responsible for almost every good thing we have in basic society.
You're not accounting for the happy music in this commercial.
It is pretty happy.
It's happy.
You're right. Okay.
So he can't be lying here. So I don't know what it is you're saying, but he's playing happy music.
Because when I was talking, no happy music.
No happy music at all.
You're right.
Methane is up 158%.
Methane's up 158%. Where does that come from? Cow farts. Okay?
Cows are...
We need to stop cows from farting.
By the way, I'm sure... on that, because you're right on that. It's not exactly farting, but it is a major contributor. I would like to say that I am sure he is about to go into the UN report about how eating meat is worse for the environment than cars. And I'm sure he's going to go into that.
Let's hear that.
Okay,
Should we hear that part?
Nitrous oxide is up 20%.
Okay.
No, he goes into nitrous oxide.
Right, but this is all part of the 20%. Same thing.
And the consequences are exactly what physics predicts.
They're exactly what physics predicts.
That's an interesting point there, because they had 73 models that predicted the temperature in the future.
And 73 models were correct.
Less than that. Not all of them were correct.
No less than 72, though. I'm absolutely convinced.
A little bit less than that.
A little less than 72?
The evidence
All right,
is
I'm going to go way
overwhelming.
down and
Sure.
say, let's say 65.
Of the 73 models
of the 73
were correct?
models being
No,
correct.
a little bit less.
Let's knock ourselves out completely and go all the way down to 50 of the 73 were correct.
Well, and that would still be pretty
It's
good.
still pretty good. Darn good.
Unfortunately, no. You're going to have to.
All right, I'm going to be really, really pessimistic. Pessimistic, if I could say the word, albeit.
Yes.
Let's say 25 of the 73 models were correct.
We're going to need a decimal point.
2.5?
No, we're going to need. You're going to need to slide that over. Let me help you out. We'll cut to the chase here. None
of them were correct.
None of them were accurate.
Not one of the freaking models.
But that's not even doesn't tell the whole
It's
story.
amazing. It's
73 models were wrong, and all 73 were wrong in the idea that they thought it was going to be warmer. They all predicted more global warming than actually existed. All of them.
So
100% of the computer models.
So when the president gets on, like he did a couple of weeks ago, and says things like, it's worse than we predicted it would be 10 years ago, that is an absolute, flat-out, unqualified lie.
And, by the way, it is actually just as bad a lie what he just said, that it says exactly what physics said it would do.
No, it didn't.
Scientists right now are having an incredible time trying to come up with a justification of why the last 16 years have not warmed the way they thought it was going to.
And it's so bad that some of them are actually questioning whether what they have believed as literally their religion for the last 17 years is even true.
Yeah.
They're losing faith in their own global warming religion. Some of them have actually fallen off the bandwagon. It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's how bad it is. Who is the one? We talked about him, I don't know, it's been several months ago maybe now. But one of them was the guy in England who's like, yeah, we were just wrong. We're just wrong on this, and we've been telling the world incorrect information. And he actually, I don't know that he went completely back off of the global warming bandwagon. But he's like, we can't accurately predict this. If we can't accurately predict, and none of the models, like you just said, have been correct, we've been misleading people. And he got excoriated for that.
Yeah, and that should be how science works, by the way. And that's an honest scientist. If you got something wrong, you just come out and you admit that you got something wrong.
But they won't do it. Most of them won't do it. This guy certainly won't.
Every single month since 1985 has been warmer than the historic average.
That's just a statistic. That's a statistic.
Every month?
Yeah, because
since 1985.
Yes, but that's a dumb statistic. Think about this. It's like saying no one is disagreeing with the temperature records that the temperature is higher today than it was 150 or 200 years ago. That's not what's at disagreement is. The argument is why. So if it has warmed, which skeptical scientists would argue has more to do with natural things. Of course it's going to be. If you've warmed, you're going to be above the average. If it's warmed to 0.74 degrees, and now we've locked in for the last 16 years at about that rate, well then, yeah, of course those months are going to be above average. That's not impressive at all. That just shows that there's been warming. It doesn't show why there's been warming. That's where the disagreement is.
All 12 of the warmest years on record have come in the last 15 years.
Same thing. Same exact point.
Unless we act, physics tells us what will happen next. Sea levels will rise, superstorms like Sandy will become more frequent, floods, droughts, and wildfires will become more severe.
Stop. None
of that is true.
Has happened.
No,
floods,
none of that's true.
Droughts, and what was the other one? Hurricanes.
Yeah, none of
those
frequent.
have shown any increase.
None.
I mean, and this guy,
and that's a continual lie.
He is. I think this guy's a rocket scientist, isn't he? I think he actually is a literal rocket
scientist.
Oh,
he is? Rocket science doesn't qualify you to be a global warming expert, however.
No, it does not necessarily.
And for some reason, the rocket scientists at NASA have all sort of converted to this global warming thing. I don't know if all of them have, but many of them have, and that's why I'm so down on NASA now, because they're not about being a space agency anymore. They're about a global warming agency.
Two of the main scientists from NASA.
James Hansen.
James Hansen, I was going to go the other direction here, though. John Christie and Roy Spencer are two guys who were award-winning scientists with NASA. Are now at the University of Alabama, Huntsville.
And is it because they're not on the global warming bandwagon?
Well, they are not.
Yeah.
They are guys who say
you can't be at NASA now and not be a global warming nut.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Even though these guys are the guys responsible for how we measure temperature, they've actually come up with the processes. processes that have decided that actually measure the temperature itself. Like these records that come from these guys. They're that smart. Okay, but they're completely, blown off because they don't embrace this hysteria.
Yeah,
and Rush Holt, this is the guy we were talking about, has ridden this bandwagon in an impressive way. This commercial, and along with his other great arguments, has risen him to an incredible 8% in the polls.
Oh, good.
He's now only losing 52 to 8 to Cory Booker. It's working out well, huh?
So this is he's a Democrat, I assume.
He is, yes.
Okay, running against Cory Booker in the primary.
Yep, 52 to 8 currently.
Oh,
losing.
yeah, he's got no chance.
And I did pass over Frank Pallone, and I should not. He is in second place with 10%. So Rush Holt isn't even in second.
So we shouldn't even be playing this.
No, it's good
nonsense,
though. Is there any more?
But it's fun.
Entire swaths of the planet will become unfit for human habitation.
Oh wow,
entire swaths.
Entire swaths of the planet will be unfit for human habitation.
If there's ever
That's
been
a powerful statement.
If there's ever been a more scientific word than swath, I don't know what it is. A swaths of land.
It could be an acre.
Yeah.
1 acre of land is uninhabitable. We're almost about to be extinct.
I don't know, by the way, I don't know if anyone's noticed this. I've seen Antarctica. I've seen certain deserts. There's lots of
uninhabitable
swaths of land that is uninhabitable for human beings on this earth. Lots of them.
Millions will die. That's science.
Millions will die.
That's reality. We'd better get to work. By passing a carbon tax, we can make polluters pay for the gases they're dumping into our
my
atmosphere.
gosh.
With the money raised, we can protect lower-income families from burdens.
Of course,
and pay for research.
Stop.
Into new...
What is that?
Wait, we'll impose a carbon tax, and then we'll give it to poor people.
Yeah,
and that will help global warming. How? Again,
because those poor people will now have more money to burn evil energy,
to buy cars and drive SUVs.
Yeah,
brilliant plan.
Forms of renewable energy. We can no longer allow Republicans to deny obvious truths. Our climate is changing. The consequences are lethal.
Lethal.
Humans are responsible.
Humans are responsible, and we're all about to die.
even the UN doesn't say that.
But we won't die. We won't die if you pay more tax, and so does ExxonMobil.
No, yeah, more taxes
Then
will
we'll
do
be
it.
okay. More taxes.
If you can just get our percentage of the emissions, which is about 20% of world emissions, and if you can just cut that from 20 to 19%, that's really going to make a difference. In fact, it will delay global warming up to
by 1 billion years. 1 billion. We'll have a
not
billion
quite
extra
a billion.
years on
It's
this
a little
planet.
less than 1 billion. We're going to need a decimal point. Let me help you. It's almost nothing. It's a period of months. You could spend trillions of dollars on this problem,
right,
and get months.
Okay, but we'll get that months if we just tax ExxonMobil more, and then their extra taxes will soak up CO2. Is that how that works?
Yes, the taxes
that
what
they
do
pay
is they take the dollars
and it's applied directly to the ozone layer.
Yeah.
That patches the ozone and then soaks up the extra CO2. Am I right? Is that how this works?
Pretty much.
I got it. 888-727 Beck.